Good evening, everyone. My name is Luke Piechowski, aka @ArcaneKeeper, and I will be your storyteller this evening for the Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, the Vatican Heist. If my players would be so kind as to introduce themselves, beginning on my right with Addison.
Hi there, my name's Addison. I am also known as the Pod of Many Things, your favourite friendly furbulk who hangs around the internet from the Pod of Many Things. And I'm really excited to be playing Luke's game. We're friends in real life as well. And I'm coming here to support the boy. The character I'm going to be playing. Do you want us to introduce characters?
Just do your clan for now.
I'm playing Native Grangle. Grangle? I think that's the correct way of saying it. Grangle.
Gangrel.
Gangrel. I got it the wrong way around. My bad.
That's fine. Thank you, Addison. Next up, Dabs.
Hi, everybody. I am at Mr. Dabs TV. I am an American unicorn living, loving, and streaming in Germany. And I will be playing a Malkavian tonight. First time playing this. Super excited.
Indrani.
You're muted.
Indrani, you're on mute.
Is this better? Okay. Hi. Attempt number 2. Hi, everyone. My name is Indrani. My pronouns are she, they. I will be playing a Tremere tonight. Spooking
Very
the chi.
good. Absolutely. And finally, Squid.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the Never Squid, at the Never Squid on all the social medias, and I will also be playing a Malkavian tonight.
Very good. Thank you very much, Squid. Right. Without further ado, allow me to introduce our game. The steady hum of an engine, like the breath of a sleeping dragon, and a rotating, thumping noise echo in your ears as you all rise from your day sleep. You do not breathe. Your hearts do not beat. Even your pupils fail to constrict as your eyes open. You are kindred. You live in the dark, feeding on mortals' precious vitae, locked in constant secret wars that have raged since the dawn of man. You were there from the earliest settlements. You have watched, guided, and followed the rise of humanity and its spread across the surface of the planet. Like a parasite, you stay hidden behind the safety of the masquerade, a veil that clouds your work and protects your kind from extermination, a veil that is at risk of being torn asunder. Welcome to the world of darkness. Let's tell a story about vampires. There's a feeling, a firm, vibrating surface, like a low rumble that makes your teeth rattle in your jaw against your backs. Wherever you are, it's cool, it's cold. There is a firm, hard surface as your eyes begin to adjust to the darkness directly above you. There's a hiss. And the roof of whatever you're in cracks open, and hard, artificial light pours into this space. You're staring up at fluorescent lights that line a domed metallic surface. Would everyone be so kind as to make a rouse check? So what that is for all of you, you roll 2d10s and take the highest number. If the number is over 5, then your hunger increases by 1. And
While we do that, sorry to interrupt, we just hit our goal of 1,000 pounds.
yes. The power of the monologue,
Wait,
baby. Let's go.
Such a good monologue. I am ready for this.
Yes.
Thank you for
So, I'll
donating,
resume.
folks.
Thank you very much, everyone. Astoundingly good news. Congratulations. Thank you. I will resume my air of dramatic indifference. Part of many things, if you'd like to start us off.
It says on the thing that I have 0 successes when I
Okay,
rolled.
so that in that case, you have your rouse check. Your hunger increases by 1, so you are now to 2 hunger. Dabs,
I have 1 success.
you've rolled 2 dice, so your hunger increases by 1. Higher dice as your due to your blood potency. Indrani,
I rolled a 9 and a 5. So I'm pretty sure that's
you take the
not
9.
good.
I'm afraid your hunger increases. Squid.
I rolled below a 5 on both dice. Woohoo!
Squid is fine. So your hunger does not increase. For the rest of you, no doubt waking up in this unfamiliar environment makes the beast in your gullet writhe and just begins to just flex its claws inside of you. That ever-present hunger just twists a little bit more. You've woken up now. You're staring up. You are free to move around. What are people doing? We'll start with Indrani.
Silfrena gets out of her little, coffin, because why not? And as she steps out, she has a frazzled look on her face. There's this scratching feeling in her throat that she's so familiar with, but it's uncomfortable every single time she feels it. She steps out and she knows that there's a job to be done later today. There's a debt to be paid. And with this very sort of nervous energy, she's like flitting around the room, like very quickly, just, sort of going through the motions of her waking routine.
Sure.
She has a vial of blood that she tucks into her pocket and, resisted the urge to even drink that little bit of blood, and is prepared for the day.
No
Or
doubt,
night.
as absorbed of course, no doubt absorbed as you are in this current routine. And as a Tremere, your mind is on higher things. Your mind is on this strange world of blood magic and rituals built into your very nature. You perhaps even fail to notice the area that you're in as you pace around. This is smaller than you remember your room being. There are other these structures like the one you emerged out of. It looks almost like a militarized coffin with heavy locks. They have opened. You're in a small kind of circular room, and it's cold and everything kind of shakes under you, and there is a familiar face sat on a low bench who I would introduce them. Addison.
I think as Indrani's character, Freya, was it?
Silfrena.
Silfrena goes round. She will hear someone muttering to themselves as they emerge from their coffin. They step out. And it looks like your average salary man. Suit, tie, glasses, very soft hair, kind of mop hair, very pale obviously, and he's just talking to himself. I can't no, we don't, not yet. And he's running he's almost duologuing with someone you can't see, and he's running his tongue across his teeth. And he's okay. Oh, hi. Hello. Alexander Hale. Lovely to meet you. I feel as if I shouldn't be here. I feel like there's been some sort of mistake. If you could just point me to the nearest door, I'll leave. I'll let you get on with your day, and everything will be fine. I promise. Just let me go. You don't need me. This is all a massive misunderstanding. I promise. Okay. You do not want the other guy. Like, hey, like, and he's just
So
like really
Brenna-
awkward.
So, Brenna, Alex's kind of strange behavior wouldn't be new to you as a member of this team, but certainly you may have not spent enough time with him to fully understand just who he's often muttering with. You've never seen this other guy, as has been said. Marjorie, if you'd be so kind.
So as the lid to Marjorie's coffin opens, the first thing that you see is a hand poking out, holding a Misty Slim Menthol 100, as she lights it up and sticks it into her mouth. Oh my god, I needed that. Oh. And she'll slowly rise out of her coffin and approach the mirror in the corner of the room, and start to fix her beehive that she wears prominently on her head. Even though she can't see herself in the mirror, she's still doing this because old habits die hard. And yeah.
As you said, all of you will have seen Marjorie emerge and just stumble off towards, and it is a mirror. There's a mirror kind of hanging on one of the, just off the curved wall of this space that you're in, this loud kind of rattling space. It looks like it's been battered. It's quite small and compact. It takes a lot of, we'd also all know that it takes quite a lot of practice for a kindred to know how to smoke. It takes a lot of rehearsal. Finally, we have Sam.
Sam gets up, and first thing she does is trying to take out her phone if she has it on her, and
You would do, yes.
just look at everything and look at the time, try and connect to some kind of network, and so focused on the phone it takes her a second to realize, oh wait, who are these people?
You've all,
Hi.
you're all now emerged from your day sleep into this contained space, and now you're all sort of looking across to each other. And as you kind of look around, you get a better sense for the space that you're in. It's loud. It's very, very loud in here. There's low benches running across the sides. And then finally you hear a polite and as your vision turns to the source of the noise, you see Scarlet. Scarlet, you would all recognize as your handler from previous heist jobs when you've all worked with different teams or perhaps worked solo. She's dressed in formal dark blue woman's suit with shoes that cost more than what some people pay for rent. Her dark hair is pinned up in a neat bun, and she's got an austere kind of business-like face, pale skin with a modest kind of beauty mark on her cheek, with small black frame spectacles on her eyes. She wears a full kind of mischievous smile as the Coterie emerge and unfolds her legs from the bench she's carrying like a tablet in her hand, and stands and says, I hope you'll all excuse the dramatics, but unfortunately time is not on our side. Make your introductions quickly. We have a job.
I'll need a spider in a jar for whatever the job is. So you'll have to get one for me.
I am sure that our employers can provide anything your heart desires, so far, my dear.
Scarlet, I don't mean to I thought we had an understanding that the last time was the last time, and that we wouldn't be doing this again because it is a bad idea. You told me that it was a bad idea, and I was like, yeah, it is a bad idea, Scarlett. You're right. Maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. And you were like, yeah, we won't be calling on your services anymore. So I'm really confused as to why I'm emerging from a coffin. Control is the key. And he just like goes into his coffin and pulls out like a little leather satchel bag, like one of like the like adult school bags, like school book bags, and like puts it round himself. He's like, okay.
Scarlett looks up. She's very, very absorbed in kind of what's on her tab. She goes, Alex, desperate times call for desperate measures. Now, I'm sure you'll be fine. This is a one-night job, in and out. Everyone gets paid. Everyone goes out happy. Marjorie,
Right.
darling, are you quite finished?
Almost, sweetie, but I'm gonna need another pack. This is my last one.
I don't, honestly, I can't stand to even drink. It's amazing for me that you manage to smoke as much as you do. And Sam, how are you?
Sam now actually gets out of the coffin she was in, and she has fully embraced the alternative punk aesthetic. She's got a side shave with pink hair and green tips. Her eyes are bright green. She's got tattoos that probably were from when she was immortal, because how would tattoos stay put from, for a kindred? And she, I should note, she has a stunning appearance. So she doesn't seem to like use that for anything, but she is quite beautiful. And then she turns around, rummages in the coffin for her bag. And then she turns back to Scarlett with a big smile. Oh, hey, Scarlett. Was this really necessary? You know I'd like to prepare my equipment beforehand.
As you say that, Scarlett's features do kind of flash just a little bit, just quite sternly, just for the moment, and kind of then switch back to that sort of casual, easygoing expression. She goes, didn't have time. Urgent job, by all accounts. The pay is undisclosable. You're all currently inside a carrier helicopter. We're heading straight from my safe house to an undisclosed location in Italy. Have you all been to Italy? It's wonderful.
In Italian, I'll say, I like it there.
Perfect.
Nope.
Not that I can remember. There's sometimes things get a little bit fuzzy. You know.
Are you sure you're up for
Wow.
this? I look at Alexander.
Yeah. I just. Is anybody else really? Yeah. Okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. It'll be all well and good. We won't need the other guy. I promise. It'll be fine. Control is the key to everything. Okay? Awesome. Brilliant. Don't worry about me. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I turn back to Scarlett. You were saying?
I expect you all to be on your best behavior. Our employer is an up-and-coming Ventru Camarilla named Luna. They wants to speak to us personally.
Named what?
Now, I know
Sorry?
none of us are huge fans of the Ivory. Sorry, Sam?
No, I mean, as a player, I didn't catch what the name you said. Sorry.
Luna.
Luna. Now, I know none of us are huge fans of the Ivory Tower, but they have resources and they pay well. And she lifts up the tablet and kind of glances up and goes, everyone take a seat. We're landing momentarily. She kind of sinks back down onto the bench, straps in what looks like quite a rough shot seatbelt.
I'll also take a seat, and as I'm walking back over to sort of the seat that I'll sit in, I see a spider sort of just crawling up the wall, and I'll like take my finger and sort of like hook it under the spider and just like lift it up
Sure.
and like just pull it close to myself and quietly, as I'm sitting down, put it in like a little vial, and again
Yeah, you'll have
down in my packet.
perfect. Normal Tremere behavior.
Yep.
Marge will
Very
take
good.
one last puff of her cigarette and flick it out the open door of the helicopter as she takes her seat next to Silfrana. Sorry.
Very good. So the rest of it's a brief rest of the flight. The wheels of this big carrier helicopter touch down. You will feel like as it lands. The doors at the back clang open, and you're greeted by a small row of quite not heavily armored, but very, very professional looking security. They're all in suits. They're all wearing body armor under the suits. They're all carrying concealed weapons. They're not reaching for them. They're not nervous, but they have that quiet confidence of people who are very, very capable of dealing very, very real damage. And they just stand, palms crossed across their laps. Scarlet rises first, so gives you all a gesture to, take it easy. Walks forward. As you step forward, this sea of just drawn parts, and a young man, very, very good-looking young man, beautifully groomed, dressed in a custom designer suit, black on black, holding a smartphone, which he slips into the interior of his jacket, goes forward, bows very slightly, and just says, in perfect English with a heavy Italian accent, if you'd be so kind as to follow me.
When we're following this person, can I take my phone out of my pocket and just quietly see if I have any signal or any way to like reach my contacts scattered across?
Where you are currently, as you're walking off what looks like a private helipad towards a really beautiful modern building, like a house, like one of these really, really sleek millionaire mansions. Despite everything being very, very open and very, very modern, you realize that you're surrounded by a lot of trees. There's a main road. You can hear cars kind of rolling past, but there's no signal on your phone. There's right here in this spot, there's nothing.
Just cursing at my brother and put it back.
Sam will spot Silfrani like checking her phone and sort of sidle up casually and go, "Yeah, I already tried that. Even if this place had a signal, they probably got jammers up. Let's be honest."
Yeah, probably.
No, we can't fight everyone. We cannot fight all of them at the same time to escape. That's not what we're doing. That's stupid. That's such a stupid idea. Why do you keep suggesting things like that? Right? We're just going to listen to them. We're going to do what we need to do. I like barge past both of them to like get in front because I'm just like really want to get out of here. Like with my like nervous bumbling energy, like sorry. It's just when we're in situations like this in high stress levels, like things play out, and I don't want them to. And so let's just go where we need to go. And let's hope that they do what we need to do, and then I don't die, because I've already done that once and it was not fun. So, hey, woo, yay, winning. Like,
Marjorie.
Well, if we do end up fighting everyone, I call dibs on Mr. Top, Doc, and Handsome over there.
We're getting this accent for the whole stream.
The stream will never end,
As
ever.
long, as long as
Never
my
gonna
throat holds up, because
Yeah, it's like you're committed now. This is a
Yeah,
problem
see,
where
this
you
is
can
why
commit.
this is why I don't do voices like that.
Yeah, because you've got to commit to do. I have a voice for one of my characters I normally do, and it's like, man, this voice really hurts my throat. I got to stop doing it.
it's for
It's
You got to
charity
commit to the
though.
bit. You got to commit to the bit.
Yeah.
You do. You got to commit. So you're following this this gentleman in the dark suit with this security unit at a good kind of shadow's length behind, not approaching, not sort of falling back, definitely attentive. You're led into this beautiful house, Scarlet's heels kind of clacking on the floor, this marble floor. It's very, there's, if there are windows, you can see that there are steel shutters above all of them, kind of concealed into the brickwork. You can see security cameras. You can see just, things like ID sensors built into the wall that hide doors. Finally, you're led into a waiting room. There's a very, very large mahogany desk, which gentleman kind of puts his hand on. There's two really, really big doors, kind of black, kind of very stone, modernist doors. He knocks twice, and there is a pause, and then a kind of just a spoken, send them in. The gentleman looks up, looks to Scarlet, looks to the rest of you all. And Mistress Luna will see you now. And wave gestures for you to head in through the door.
Before we
So-
start heading, I will look at Sam and then like reach out to Alexander and just like grab his arm and
Oh, sorry. I forgot you were there for a second.
my hand will like gently just like slip down and into your palm. I will drop of a fairly decently sized vial of blood and just say, "You look like you need it. It's fresh-ish." And I'll withdraw my hand.
Thanks for that. I'll keep it in hand. Thank you. Maybe you should go first. I don't think that the nervous wreck should go first. I think that was actually a terrible
You're
idea.
probably right. I will
Mhm.
step ahead.
Sam rolls her eyes
Oh.
and goes into the room.
Very good. Marjorie?
Yeah, Marjorie will also join the party. No.
Sure. So these doors swing open. As soon as they do, you enter into a huge, spacious office. It's minimalist, but it's minimalist in the way only the very rich can afford. You have to be very rich to afford this much nothing. There is a big black desk dominates the space. There is a marble statue of two beautiful women, what could gently be described as in a passionate embrace, one of whom is distinctly in her teeth into the other's throat. As soon as you step in, you're a delighted feminine moan. As your eyes look towards the desk, you see a young woman sat on the lap of another. This young woman in the lap, dressed in like a kind of shirt or skirt. She has her wrist bared, and the woman in the chair, high-backed leather chair, teeth sunk into her wrist. She draws back, wiping blood from the corner of her mouth, sucks her thumb clean, tossing back thick long blonde hair. The woman who is on her lap stands, stumbles as she blinks to try and right herself, putting her hands on her desk. And she kind of stands up fully, brushes herself down, bows to the lady in the chair, bows to yourselves, and then wobbling slightly, begins to exit the room.
I take a very deep breath when she passes by.
Yeah, you can smell it. You can smell that fresh. She's got a hand kind of clasped to her, but you can smell that fresh spilled vitae. It's better than booze, better than chocolate, better than heroin. It's that desire. You feel that beast just twist its talons inside of you. The woman at the desk doesn't stand. She leans forward and pyramids her fingers together. She's somehow dressed in an even more expensive suit, adorned with diamonds. Shirt unbuttoned is just made of crisp silk. This is a custom suit. She studies you all and looks between the party. She frowns, just goes, Gangrel, Shamir, Malkavian. Malkavian? 2 Malkavians. Surely it would be quicker just to slap a time bomb to each of your chests.
That's a gaudy painting. I point at the one where those 2 women are embracing each other.
I like it. Just trash her art. Yeah, but your art's trash. So, Marjorie, she just insulted your clan. You got anything to say to that?
Well, if that's the plan we're going with, I volunteer her to carry the bomb. I'll light the fuse though,
And she'll pull out her lighter and go to light a cigarette as she realizes that her pack is empty.
I was totally of the opinion that you didn't need me anymore. Like I was never going to do these sort of things anymore. So if you're disappointed, you could always just let me go. It's fine. I'll disappear into the ether like we do. Ooh, and you'll never see me again. And then you'll be like, "Oh, I'm really glad I never saw that Alexander Hale again." And I'll be like, "Oh, I'm really glad I didn't see you again." And,
Luna studies Alex, who has just begun, and just kind of frowns and her brow and just stays just motionless just for a few seconds, and then sits up and says, I have been told that you are the best at what you do. And she looks to you, Sophrena, and says, comments on my art collection aside. And she stands moving around the desk, coming forward. She's quite short. She's short even in the heels. She's shorter than most of you. She has she has the slightest twinge of Brooklyn in her English. She goes, my name is Luna. I am a Ventru. I am of the Ivory Tower. You have been brought to me because I need something stolen. She moves a hand to her desk and swipes across it. The lights that are hidden in the ceiling of this room go down. And you're stood sort of at half light. You can see, as the lights do go down, you can see that the window behind her desk, which takes up the full length of the wall, shows you a city skyline. And it doesn't realize that you're looking out on the skyline of the eternal city. This is Rome. Swipes the hand across the desk, and a projection appears in the middle of the room. Holographic technology kind of floating in the middle of the space. Impressed, Marjorie?
Well, if that isn't fancy, never seen something like that before. That must have cost you a pretty penny.
It cost me. I promise you, it cost me nothing compared to what we might lose. She gestures, and a timer flashes up, and it shows 6 hours remaining. 5:59, and then you see seconds: 59, 58, 57, 56. She watches the timer for a moment and then says, 6 hours ago, there was a data leak. Information was stolen by the Operation First Light from one of the Camarilla's offshore servers. Information that, if decrypted, would reveal the identity of countless kindred. We have reason to believe that is now being decrypted in a secure server in the secret archives of the Vatican. We estimate that this will be finished by sunrise. Here's what you need to know. The data needs to be destroyed. It can be found in a server bank that is underneath Vatican City. The drive is marked with a specific code, which will be provided. It is held in a secure location. You will need to enter the Vatican's black archives. You will need to destroy this drive, and you will need to escape. If you do not escape, I will make sure that you are strung out on crucifixes and left to burn in the sun. And no amount of money or clever tricks will stop that happening. We're out of options here. If the drive is destroyed, then we can handle cleanup. If it isn't, then all of us face extermination. Any questions?
Sam has been sort of casually leaning against the wall, and she will speak up and go, yeah, where can I get that kind of tech? That's awesome. Also, wait, did you say the Vatican?
It comes from a private dealer, but if you succeed, I promise you'll be able to afford this level of technology and more.
Well, I have nothing, so if you want to like send us on our merry way and like just to like that's completely fine. I'm rather opposed to the whole crucifix thing, but I'm sure we can allow that out in the paperwork and the contract and everything. Like we can deal with that. We can workshop it. Maybe just a quick bullet in the head, like just so I don't suffer. I'm cool with that. Like just I'm shutting up now. Sorry.
She doesn't look like she's open to negotiation on the crucifix thing. She looks really excited about it.
Marjorie will grab her head and kind of feign a pain, and as her eyes go wide, and she'll just hold that for maybe 30 seconds to a minute before saying,
Whoa. You know what, Luna? I just had a vision, and we're gonna need that painting of yours if you expect us to get this mission done. Otherwise, it's gonna fail spectacularly.
Luna stares you down, and there's this.
You could grab it off of Deviant Art if you need it, I think.
That is a custom painting. And she just holds that stare.
Is
There's
that a
this horrible
watermark
feeling.
I see?
This is horrible. Guys are begging for it. I'm rewriting the ending. What's happening? Trash Luna's art. Bad ending unlocked. You do see her fingers just curl into the surface of the desk. She snaps her fingers, and the timer and the holographic display vanishes. She explains that the schematics, the information that they have, it's all been sent to Scarlett's iPad. Scarlett, of course, as you know, will be working as the voice in your ear. That's her usual domain. Luna kind of leans back against the desk, studying you all, and asks, is there any materials you require? Weapons, tools?
Magnets, if you have them.
Magnets?
Yes.
Electromagnets?
The kinds that destroyed hard drives.
I'm sure we can provide that. Try to think a little bit bigger, darling.
Well, I usually, when I have to hack things, I have a van full of equipment, which is, still in the US. I don't think I can get a van, but what kind of equipment can you get me?
We can get you a van. She just kind of just a look at inspecting her nails. Says, "We can get you a van and any equipment you might have to consider. I promise you, our pockets run very deep."
If
Well, okay then.
if that's the case, then I think we're pretty well looked after. I guess like that's not bad, is it? Is it like I don't think that's what do I
Oh no,
need?
this is a suicide mission, but we don't really have a choice. So
No. And I mean, just FYI, in future, if you want people to do what you want and not feel like they've got lots of pressure on them, like maybe don't put a big giant timer that says you've got 6 hours before the extinction of the vampire race, and then maybe shutting up now.
What could be helpful is our blueprints of the place where to.
Scarlet, your handler, will have access to any blueprints, be able to communicate with them. Unfortunately, it is unlikely to be able to use your phones inside out of it, but we have booster technology and it may be able to make them accessible.
Communication devices, if you have them, perhaps.
Absolutely. They will be provided to you as soon as you are en route.
Great.
Sam is sort of half paying attention, and she will. I am not a hacker in real life, but she will rattle off the kind of equipment that a hacker would have that needs to be in the van at probably a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
I only imagine the scene as
everything-
like Sam's trying to say, "I'm gonna need," takes a deep breath, and it cuts to like Sam in a van full of just insane tech.
Just
I'm imagining
It's,
like her just asking
it-
for the Nebuchadnezzar from the Matrix, like actually just like a floating ship.
And then at the
I
very end,
need a
it's like,
computer
and
that I can plug.
then at the
I
very
need a
end, it's like,
computer
oh,
that I can
and
plug
guns.
directly in my brain. Yeah, and guns. Lots of guns.
Sorry, Marjorie, you were gonna say something.
Marjorie will brandish her empty pack of cigarettes and say,
I could use a top up, and I wasn't joking about that painting. It's gonna come in clutch for the plan. Otherwise, we might as well go with the bomb thing.
She looks at the painting and she goes, you know what? I think I might rather risk extinction than give that painting to you. And you realize that one of the women in it is her. And it's like, oh.
I picked that up immediately.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been ragging on it the whole time.
She's got her measurements memorized at this point. So if there's no other kind of equipment requests, Sam is list off. She doesn't look surprised by any of it. It's kind of like yes, there'd be weapons available if need be, unless anyone has any specific weapon requests. You guys will be equipped with your normal heist equipment that you might bring with you. Any specific weapon requests? Just because I think they're fun. Or are we going hand to hand, going silent on this one?
I would love a silenced, like revolver of some sort, something for like a quick takedown if I need to.
Silence pistol, sure.
Alex actually asks her for like credentials, so he's asking for like press kit-esque stuff.
Okay.
So like he like rattles off a university and says like it's like a thing for like research. Like he's kind of like trying to make out like he's like some sort of like university professor for like social and religious studies to get access to the Vatican as in a more legit fashion, just in case they need to do any like nightly stakeouts or anything. And like
she frowns a little as you could, because you're asking for something so specific, and you're asking for something that if it was going to be made to like work would take longer. But she does say she might be able to get you something that would pass on first glance, not something that's going to hold up to like a police check, for example. She says that will also be arranged. You know that as you've been chatting and as you've been making this request, she has been checking her very, very expensive watch. And
I quickly want to ask. One of my advantages is that I have a mask. I have
Yeah.
a fake identity.
yeah,
Same.
Would it be possible
Yeah, I
for
do
me to
too, actually.
craft that? Love that for us. Could we sort of supplement these identities that we've been given with this advantage to sort of like make it really foolproof?
yes, you guys have this mask. So what that means, you guys have, if you've just got the one or two, depends if you have one or two dots, but for the sake of argument, I know you've all at least got one dot.
I've
The
got
mask-
2 dots in fake ID and 2 dots in mask.
There you go. Okay, so that makes it really easy then, because they could essentially just hit print. That's fine. Because all of you guys have a real identity, like a living person, as opposed to you're meant to be dead. So in that case, they are able to quite easily produce these IDs. Not all of them may hold up on, like, if they wanted to do like a police check, but first inspection, that might just be enough. You're right. So very well. As I said, you notice that as you've been speaking, she's been checking her watch kind of intermittently. And then she glances back to the window behind her and just looks at her watch again. And she moves back behind the desk and says, "The local authorities will be occupied during the course. His Holiness is away on tour, so security should be light. I have arranged a distraction of sorts."
Are you going to tell us what it is, or
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there is an explosion out in the distance, out on the skyline of this city. There's just an eruption of fire. You see a plume of smoke block out the moon, block out the stars. All the lights in the sea flicker. And then after a beat, you begin to hear this wail of ambulances, of police. You hear car alarms going off. You hear dogs going nuts. And she kind of just puts her watch down and goes, "You have until sunrise. Ciao."
I
Can
turn around
Marjorie?
and leave? Oh.
Sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying that I immediately turn around and walk out when it's cue.
Okay. Can Marjorie have requested a garrote?
A garrote? Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I just want to make it very clear that you would have noticed that Alex asked for no weapons, like at all, like
Yeah.
nothing violent, like just asked for the identification.
Yeah. Luna just thinks you're just gutsy or suicidal.
I forgot to ask before, but can we have blood packs? Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah. They are. Luna, in fact, offers you, if any of you would be so keen, as you're led out, as the group is led out, the assistant kind of walks in step with you. Scarlett is kind of frowning down at her iPad, looks very distracted. The assistant kind of walks in step with you and stops and just says, "If any of you should wish to eat before others, we do have access to some very, very fine blood dolls. And as you would know, as kindred, blood dolls are humans who chase the thrill of being fed on by kindred." And he says, "If that's not to your taste, we also have access to fresh blood packs." He's reading it off like a waiter would read off a wine list.
Sam asks for a couple of blood packs, and then sort of there's been this little frown on her face the whole time, and right as like the conversation ends, she will turn to Luna and go, "There's a bright green signal from an antenna up on the roof. You might want to get that checked out. I think it's on the fritz."
Right in there, no information loss.
Just you notice Alex takes off his glasses, and almost like Clark Kent turning into Superman, he suddenly becomes bigger and like broader somehow as he like, I'm gonna need me one of those dolls if you don't mind. And he like picks out like a very specific like somebody clever. He's looking for like doctorates and stuff. Like,
Okay.
like, and then I guess how does feeding work? Because this is my first time playing this. So would I just
That's
lose
fine.
1 point, or do I need to roll for it?
We'll see what other people are doing, and then we'll do your feeding scene. Soprano.
I will also take Luna upon it. I need to get rid of that
Oh.
feeling in my throat.
Blood doll or pack?
I'll take a blood doll and I'll peruse until I find one that is asleep.
Okay, that's your taste. Now, he assures you that can be arranged. Sam, since you are going with packs as this charming assistant is showing off the wares, you are brought down to what's going to be your transport vehicle, which looks more like a tank. Like it's armored, it's black, it's got tinted windows, and there's just computer equipment, portable materials, whatever you might need. Marjorie, what's your poison?
Marjorie will pick out the handsomest, kind of most muscular, probably douchiest looking man there is. And as it comes to feeding, I don't know if there's any rules set by like the organization we're working for, but she will feed until they're almost dead.
This is an 18. This is an 18. I told they do. It's a vampire game. They should know what's coming. So we'll go one at a person. One till that almost dead. Almost.
Or somebody
not
pulls
killing.
her off. Either way.
Okay. Well, they might not pull you off, so we'll get there. Have a think. We'll start off with Alex. Alex, this assistant kind of shows you into what really looks like it looks like a wine tasting room. It's comfortable. It's quiet. It's quite zen. It's a room for kind of contemplation and conversation. There are men and women just lined up against the wall. Take your pick. And they have files. They have files in front of them with their history, family history, activity, likes, dislikes, loves, hates. And you find a PhD researcher, specialism, is in the fall of the Roman Empire, and she's written 3 papers and published a book on the subject, so very, very qualified. As for your questions about the mechanics, you do not need to roll. She is giving this to you willingly. There's no need to kind of pull, as there might be in other situations. Are you feeding until you are completely satiated, or are you going down to 1 dot? You are on mute, Alex.
Here's the question, Storyteller. Is there a large open space in which this person can run?
Oh, spicy. I like it. Yes. You get the feeling that whatever your particular feeding desire is, they have a way of accommodating it. They might even just lead us outside.
Alex looks at the PhD and looks if she was like on any sports teams or anything like that. And it's like,
oh yeah, track star at Cambridge.
Perfect.
Only the best.
My dear, I am going to ask you really nicely to run. And you're going to go as fast as you can. And when you think you've ran far enough, you're going to keep running. And then he crouches down and waits. You see him almost like a dog patting his back leg, waiting for this person. And he waits for 10 seconds. It's open this gate. She thinks this is really cute and funny. I guess she thinks, oh, this will be great. This will really get the adrenaline going. And almost like that anime-esque, like he moves and it takes a second for the ground to catch up. Like it cracks underneath him. He is gone, all fours, claws, after this woman, and just cracks into the back of her, pins her down, like, and yeah, he's going to go all the way down if possible. So I've got 2.
Be aware. You would be aware that going all the way down, so draining your hunger to 0, will kill her.
Damn it. Nice Alex is in the back of my mind. Nice Alexander's in the back of my mind.
The last drop that extinguishes them, that's what fully satiates you.
I'll go down to 1 then, as like you hear, like, it is awful, by the way. It is awful. It sounds like he's biting like different parts of them, like they're not, it's not just the neck, it's the arms, it's when they try to like realize that they're in danger, they try and fight him off, and he bites their hands, it's anywhere he can get it. And then like he suddenly stops, stands bolt upright, the glasses come back out the thing, he's like yeah, that was really, really unbecoming. Oh, you are unconscious. Oh dear. That was awful. I am so sorry. And he just like walks off, like as if like nothing happened, like straightening out his tie, like wiping his mouth, like almost like panicking at what he's just done.
Yeah, the PhD students the press was not fast enough, and you do manage to just kind of quite easily catch her just straight down to the hard ground. You feel the rush of vitae spill into your mouth, down your throat, across your tongue, hot, bright, filling that need, filling that hunger that is always, always present. Her blood is almost jovial. There's a resonance to it, a kind of excitement, thrill that leaves your tongue kind of buzzing. Sulfrena, for your blood dog of choice, this is kind of when you're led to a quiet room where there's a low bed. It's clear this is a. Oh, sorry, you have a question.
No, when they go, I just like, I have unseen passage. I
You
can
do.
move without creating a single sound.
Perfect. Yeah, so you do, and you activate your discipline, and any noise that you might have made just vanishes. Your footsteps are silent. You are shown to a dark, quiet room. The blinds are drawn. There's a blood doll, back turned, sleeping on a low, very comfortable looking bed.
I will lean down, very gently, sort of move any hair that might be covering portion of their neck, sink my fangs in, and just one hand sort of covering their mouth to keep them from speaking, and just
You would be aware as kindred, there are some exceptions, but to you, feeding is the fulfillment of every need. You don't get hungry anymore, you don't get thirsty, you don't get aroused. There is just the hunger, there's just the beast inside. And feeding it's like being satiated and drunk and high all at the same time. It's perfect. You would know that for mortals, from what you understand, feeding's better than sex. And there's a writhing, there's a shifting beneath these covers, there's a quiet moan kind of slips into the palm of your hand as you kind of climb down. Do you feed back to 0, or do you leave them for another day?
my hand, which is sort of covering their mouth, sort of clenches over it for a moment, and I will take that sort of last bit of blood to satiate myself.
So all the way down to 0?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so the body goes still, goes quiet. You feel that kind of cold rush, but that hunger inside of you, gone for the briefest, for what are precious moments. There is no beast. The hunger inside of you, its claws are gone. You are satiated. You are full. In that last drop, you can remove 2 dots from your hunger. You're down to 0.
Great.
Finally,
Before I
I'm
step
sorry.
away from the body, I'm assuming their eyes might have opened when I started feeding.
Yes.
I will
Yeah.
gently sort of close their eyelids. And again, quiet as nothingness. I'll make my way back out.
Yeah.
Very
Sister's
clean.
waiting. Very clean, absolutely. Sister's is waiting to exit, just closes the door. Doesn't even seem to register with him. Finally, Marjorie, you found a proper muscle hunk. Good-looking guy, bronze, tan, kind of what kind of physique am I going for? Zac Efron in Baywatch kind of physique, you know, negative 1% body fat, hasn't eaten a carb in about 3 years. How you feeling? How's it going?
So Marge will take this this blood doll to a private room and almost begin like a striptease without taking off her clothes, and
Sure.
it'll be a very kind of erotic dance with him, trying to elicit very erotic feelings from him before pulling down his pants and what's the word? Neutering him on the spot.
Truly didn't see that one coming. Truly didn't see that one
We're rolling
coming.
for good,
Oh.
everybody.
Every person with male genitalia in the chat and watching has just folded their legs and adjusted how they were sitting. So, Marjorie,
And so as he becomes demand, she will
Yes.
use this this new hole in his body as the means for which she feeds, and she will drain him dry.
I thought I was prepped for this one. I truly did not see that one coming.
I feel like
Exciting.
this should call for a humanity check.
Humanity check. No, yeah, that might be a sin in your humanity. What's your humanity at?
7.
Oh yeah, that goes down.
I mean,
that goes.
she also, it's also part of her backstory though, to like kind of punish men.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Go on. I'll be nice then. This we're not here. We don't judge.
you can take
We
it
don't
down.
judge.
That's
We're all,
fine.
No, we're all parasitic murderers here. So I don't know how to describe this one. I've been stumped. Yes. Okay. So he is initially kind of he's very obviously on something. You know, his pupils about the size of dinner plates, and he's a bit kind of jittery, kind of jaw grinding, and he's very disgusting and helping. But then the teeth come down, and he just screams, and the scream doesn't seem like it escapes the room you're in. It's very, very loud in the room. You can get the idea that everything is kind of soundproofed. You do manage to just drain him dry, and he's just lying there, corpse. And assistant, a door opens, just sees you again, doesn't seem particularly perturbed. He just presses a button on his phone, and as you step outside, cleanup crew begins to emerge. And as you step out, he actually presents you with a pack of cigarettes.
Perfect. Marjorie will pull one out and light one up and take a deep puff.
Was there no menthol? This'll do.
Yeah, he kind of pulls a fake mention of menthol. So, satiated as you all are with the prerequisite feeding scene out of the way, you are shown, security team again, down to where Sam has been posted up during this. Their hunger's been managed. And, you're shown into the back of this big secure van. Alex, for you, this van might feel just a little bit too much like a cage. But before you can offer any sort of protest, doors slam, engine starts up, and it pulls out onto this major isolated road heading towards the Eternal City. Scarlet looks up, the pad she's on, she looks over to Sam, who's fiddling about with the various electronics that have been loaded in, kind of sits back and goes, all right, gang, end of the world, what's the plan?
Blueprints first. We need to take a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. So she...
Sam is only half paying attention. She's gotten totally absorbed into whatever malware she's writing to try and get onto the network when we get access to it.
Okay.
And she sort of
Tell you what, then.
impatiently... Sorry, what?
I'm going to say, for that malware, let's do our first roll of the night.
Oh dear.
I'm going to ask for...
We have rolled already, actually.
We have
First
done rounds.
skill
excuse me.
test.
Let's
First
do
skill test.
There we go. Let's go first skill test of the night. All right, Sam. So we're going to roll to see just how, if you can pull this off, kind of knowing what you do. Scarlet would have been able to provide you with a lot of the kind of known security, the theories about the unknown security. So would you be so kind as to give me an intelligence and software engineering, which is your advantage. So that would be $2.
$2. So how many? Let's see.
That's 4 total, including your
4 dice.
Well, including 100 dice.
This doesn't fall under hacking?
Doesn't
Guess
fall into
not.
what, sorry?
Hacking?
It's because you specified that you're building malware. If you wanted to change your approach so that in that you're like preparing to hack into the sort of network rather than making something to bring it down.
Let me clarify. What she wants to do is she kind of snaps her fingers at Scarlet. It's like, what's an easy target for dumb advertising emails?
Easy target for dumb advertising emails. So is it like where you could an email address you could throw them at?
Where she's trying to pick a target of someone who would click on an ad in an email they got.
Oh yeah, she brings up the details of the intern currently on night security.
So what yeah, exactly, Tav. It's phishing time, basically.
Fine,
She's going
okay.
to attach a worm to this ad, and she's going to try and formulate the email using the hacker like social engineering, like what would this dude click on or this lady click on?
Okay, yeah, that's fine because Scarlett's got this guy's information. So your ad for hot singles in your we'll pause there as that email gets sent off into the ether. So Frenna, you wanted to see the blueprints.
Yes, and also with my years of working as a white collar con artist, have
Yes,
built
yeah.
a significant amount of resources for myself. I think I have
Yes.
3 dots in it, for whatever that's
Yeah,
worth.
so you have a lot of cash on hand.
Yeah. What I would like to do is figure out who are the people working security jobs at the building, and maybe with some help from Sam, figure out the ones that might be most easily bribed or, be encouraged to take a day off with a little extra cheddar cheese in their pockets. So
Cool.
yeah, basically make our jobs a little easier.
That will come in when we do Sam's hacking roll, because that will be part of the information that they're able to pull. So we will
Okay.
come back to that. Marjorie.
Marjorie would actually be interested in the same information, because anybody that they can't necessarily pay off or get rid of some other way, she'll be trying to think of how she can either persuade them to look the other way, or even just dominate them outright with her.
Hannibal
her
Lecter style
charms.
sort of mental manipulation from
Yeah.
the next step. Fine. So you, Alex.
Alex is going to continue working on this like research paper, guys, using his
Yes, sure.
academic background and the fact that he just keeps repeating university since he's died. Pretty much, he just goes to a different university and like hops around and takes pretty much the same classes but does different subjects to like get a. So his academic specialism is English Gothic literature, and basically he is trying to find a way to interview someone or make up an interview that he's been promised in order to talk about the anti-Catholic sentiments and pro-Catholic sentiments of early Gothic literature, such as the Castle of Otranto, and onto the later works of like Dracula, Bram Stoker, etc. So he's trying to like basically get these guys the ability to blag it, like making them some cliff notes, finding someone who they could say that they're there to see to justify why they're in the Vatican's main building. I'm guessing, like some sort of librarian or something.
Sure.
In order to have that.
You've been so careful with your wording, because when you were sort of saying, "Oh, I'm going to be making up this information," I was like, "Well, I'm going to have to ask you to roll subterfuge, which you have no dots in." But because you've specified that you're like doing research to give the talkers more talking points and like to act like they actually know what's going on, that's just going to be, because you're on a limited. Normally, this would just be an automatic success because of your experience, because you don't need that much. But you're on quite limited time. So I'm going to say there's going to be a skill test. It's not going to be very high. If you succeed, any future attempts of people using this subterfuge, maybe like the first time, is going to get +1 dice in the pool. So we're going to start off with Alex's roll. Alex snatched the first skill test of the night. So that's just going to be intelligence plus academics, and you're using your mechanisms. That's going to be 5 dice total.
5 dice total, 1 hunger. Yeah. Boom. 4 successes, DM. Take
Very
that.
good. Yep. 4 successes is like a challenging kind of success. So nail it. It's
brains,
no problem, really.
brothers, brains.
Yeah, you managed to make a cliff notes like, hey, here's a realistic argument for why a bunch of English scholars would need access to the Vatican's resources, the Vatican's secret archive. Not called that anymore, disappointingly. Of course, you know that you were looking for the Black Archive. Going down the list, so Frenna.
Yes.
Scarlett is happy to show you these blueprints. So she shows everybody. She kind of shows that, there's the main building, there's various kind of outposts. The Vatican, as you know, isn't big. It's the Vatican City, smallest country in the world. And as you head in, there's houses and there's shops, there's people who live there. But if the Black Archive is going to be anywhere, it's going to be in the main building. You know that on site there'd be Swiss Guard. The actual building itself is open to the public, not this late at night, and not all of it, but there will be doors, there will be windows, there'll be a roof that's accessible. The camera will actually have information about a tunnel system that's underneath as well.
My specialty for science is architecture. And I was wondering if I could use that to sort of inform what the best course of action would be to infiltrate this place.
So what one is architecture, sorry, what's the skill?
Science, because I have two of that. I could pick a specialty.
Okay. Yeah, tell you what, give me a wits plus academics roll.
Okay.
This could also come under larceny, but because you're looking at it from like an architectural kind of perspective, and it's wits rather than intelligence.
Got it. So 3 plus 2? 3.
3
Oh my God, that's a
plus.
lot of
Give me 1
dice.
second, so. 3 plus 4 because you're using a speciality.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We did tell you would need more dice.
I
told you
already
this.
I dropped some already, so it's fine. We have extras.
Someone in my coterie on like certain on certain seduction attempts manages to roll something like 15 dice. So
Amazing. Okay, so I rolled a 9, another 9, another 9, 3 more 5s, and a 3. So 3 9s,
So that's
3
1
5s,
success.
and a 3.
Oh, that's just the 1 success. What was your success on?
On the
Ooh.
wait, how did successes work? Sorry, player question.
A
So
6 and above is
anything over
success.
5. Yeah, anything over 5 is a success.
So I got 3 9s and 3
Oh,
5s.
3
So
9s. Sorry.
that's 6 successes and 1 failure.
Yeah, anything over 5, so 6 and
Yeah.
up. So that's 3 successes. That's my bad. Totally misheard you. Fine, 3 successes.
Yeah.
It's not easy because you're looking at quite detailed schematics of a building which it's been around, centuries, and it's very, very well documented. But you're kind of having to look at it in a way that you would be trying to break it. What you do notice as you kind of go through all of these plans, go through all of these layers, is you do find a black hole. You do find that even going back like centuries, going back to like some of these really, really early blueprints, which you're able to read and you're able to kind of decipher and visualize, there's a place that's not documented anywhere. On some of them, it's recorded just like a storage area, and on others, it doesn't exist. So there is a space in these schematics that's just missing. And draw from that what you will. As for access points, so from
I also have a specialty in cryptology, to figure out whether or not there's any ciphers or any sort of clues at play here from that angle as well.
I will say as you kind of go through, you don't notice any like the documents. These are all like public access, including some
Right.
that
Okay.
may have been from undisclosed sources, but you don't notice anything that you sort of jump out at you as a cipher.
Okay.
Fine. As for like how you would access the space, there's a lot of doors, and you know that this black spot seems to be it's underground, and so the kind of base is here, and you would see that moving. It does seem like it would be to get there. So let's call. Before we come back and we do our big hacking check and you guys get your information, let's just call for a 5-minute break, and people get make sure to stay hydrated, folks. Right. Thank you very much.
All right. We'll be back soon.
Please, director. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. We rejoin our coterie in their private vehicle as it travels towards the secure facility of the Vatican. Our coterie has successfully managed to identify where they believe the location of the black archives containing the security might be held. Our camera zooms in on Sam, our Malkavian, hunched, no doubt, over a laptop, glow radiating against their face, as their email soars off to the private inbox of a night guard security who's about to have a really very bad evening. Sam, your carefully worded email does make him open it. The now have access, and now I'm going to ask you for your hacking roll to see just how deep you can get in.
Would that be wits or intelligence?
That would be, because you are kind of working off your experience and improvising, that's going to be wits.
Okay. So that's plus my specialty, that adds 2 dice? 1 die? How many dice?
Specialty, I believe, adds 1 dice, but I'm welcome to being corrected. I'm sure chat is already correcting me. Because that's how the internet works.
Is this... Yeah, I've played a lot of Vampire, but every version has slight variations on how things work, so...
I think it's 1 dice. If I get corrected, I will add another dice sort of in post, or you can hold on to 1.
I will just add 1, and if I can add another one, then I'll add another one later.
Totally fine. Thank you.
I got 4 successes.
How many, sorry?
4 successes, sorry.
4 successes. Very good. Yeah, speciality adds 1 to the roll. 4, give me 1 second. Ooh, okay. So I'll say that the surface level security going through this guy's account is pretty much what you'd expect. It's your I'm also not a hacker, so I'm just going to make stuff up. It's your regular kind of walls, regular kind of diversions.
I can
It's
add some
normal
stuff if that'll help. I looked up some stuff. If you want.
Go on. Buzzwords.
So
let's do it.
there is a worm attached to this that will create a sort of backdoor that helps get past the firewall.
Sure.
It has a net scanner attached, which will try and run through everything attached to the network, to the computer that this is on. It doesn't do anything aggressive because it's not trying to be found, so it's not going to like lock the computer down or give like virus alerts or anything like that.
Sure.
And it gives me a backdoor into the network. Everything that's attached to that computer, to that account.
Fine. Blade Runner, Cyberpunk, we all know words. You get further. So initially, like I said, the initial kind of levels of security are very, very basic. That it's all the kind of normal stuff you'd expect: employee registers, HR, pay slips, yada yada yada. But you kind of very quickly come up against like a brick wall, and you're limited, and you're limited. You're in a moving vehicle. If you're in a couple of hours, you might be all right, but this kind of just stops you dead in your tracks. There's definitely something hidden. There's definitely a lot more hidden here, especially because this guy's account has no access to it. But you have access to this general database, giving you guys access to people who might be more easily manipulated. And aren't you very lucky? You've managed to identify one member of the Swiss Guard who's on duty tonight. He's, according to his personal record, he's recently had to declare bankruptcy. And of course, employees are required to declare bankruptcy because they might be liable to being bribed. He's been kept on, he's got a good record. You do note, however, especially you, Marjorie, there are psych evaluations here. And there's a note in one of these secure psych evaluations hidden behind another layer of security that does show signs of being easily kind of angered, being easily brought to a rage, easily, so he's been denied promotion, he's been denied access to something because of this. He doesn't seem to be the right fit, but he's on duty tonight.
Question.
So with your question, go ahead.
Does this give me access to the security cameras and any sound equipment or security equipment?
Yes, it gives you access to the security cameras that cover the public areas of the Vatican. So the kind of touristy, this includes like the library, it includes the secret archives, not the black archive. It would. Yeah. There aren't any microphones here. It's just security
Okay.
cameras. And you
Can
do know,
I-
however, there are quite,
Sorry.
especially on the security camera facing outside, there are very, very bright security lights.
Are those connected to the network?
They are not. They're on their own. They're on their own thing.
Okay. Can I tell what kind of security is beyond the brick wall I can't get past? Or is it just...
It's, if you weren't as good a hacker as you are, it would be like nothing is there. So you wouldn't even be aware that there was more to find. But because you were able to have piece of information together, and because you know the patterns you're looking for, you are able to identify that. Hey, there's something else here. No idea how to access it.
Okay,
You get the idea that maybe it's because it's being controlled from its own server. It's something that's being held separately to the kind of employee terminals.
So 2 more things and then I'm done. I'm sorry.
Fine. No, that's fine.
I would like to see if I can access the power grid. So if I need to, I can switch off the lights.
Fine.
And I would like to record the public areas, all the cameras I have access to. I would like to record like a minute or so of footage.
Speed.
So that if we need to sneak past anyone, I can just go in and play the loop of there being nobody there on the security cameras.
Very good. That second one that one's easily done. They're constantly recording and then being deleted stuff like 30 days. So setting up that loop, very easy. As far as you can tell, no one's kind of noticed it. So on the public facing security camera, there's now a loop of an empty corridor. Accessing the power grid is more difficult. The Vatican's power grid is linked to Rome. The security lights don't seem to be linked to it. There isn't like just a button that has security lights. There are backup generators. They do have their own kind of, the Vatican itself does have a kind of a backup power system, you notice. And you might think, why does a public building need a backup power system? It's not a hospital, but it does. You get the feeling though that the security lights are quite old fashioned. You get the feeling that they're on timers, that there might just be like a big switch. They're not kind of linked up to the cameras themselves.
Okay. I will relay all of this information to everyone else in the van. Does everyone have a phone, by the way?
Yes, you guys all would have been given kind of isolated communication devices that kind of just slip into your ears. You do have your phones. They are now working now that you've left the compound. Scarlett has also explained that the van, the technology using Sam, it has quite an extensive kind of booster range, so you should be able to stay in touch.
Okay. I meant, does everyone have their personal phones?
Yes.
Marge doesn't have one.
Doesn't have a phone. Old school.
Alex has one.
I imagine Alex's phone is like a Motorola Razor, like a really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
really
so
Phone. Yeah.
Alex is sorry, not Alex. Sorry, Sam is going to turn to Silfrani and sort of look at her and go, "Could you turn off your personal phone, please? It's really irritating."
What?
Like there's a bright blue signal like right here. It's humming. It's very annoying. Can you turn it off, please?
Right. Before I turn my phone off, which I will send a message out to one of my advantages is that I have a retainer. There is
Sure.
my guy in the chair, as I would call them, right? And I would send a message after them saying that whatever the name of the Swiss the security person that you mentioned earlier, the one on bankruptcy, to see if we can wire them from one of my many shell company or by a shell company or by a shell company's bank account, just a little bit of money, and give them a taste of what can come if they play along with us.
Sure. Okay. You get quite a quick response.
Yeah.
Explains that. It may take a little while, but they're happy to kind of just coming from the name as well. But you guys have provided like bank account details. It's all very routine. Yeah, I would have been happy to on your kind of mark. Send
Yeah.
over information. A bit of a taster is needed. Marjorie, and anything else to prepare as the kind of closes in on you? The city's growing. You can hear the wailing sirens from the distraction off in the distance.
Nothing particularly right now that's relevant to Marjorie, but I guess I have a question about one of her abilities.
Sure.
Mesmerize says that she can do it with the subject's gaze. Would that work through a security camera?
Through a security camera, I'm going to say no. I think through something like a window, but I think a security camera, even somewhere like, is going to be quite low definition, and so you need to kind of capture their gaze, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
What Tab just
Good
said,
idea,
it
that.
doesn't really work. You have to actually like make eye contact with the person.
Nope, just asking. I've never done it, so just wanted to know. Okay. Thank
No,
you.
totally fine. Always worth asking. It's a good idea. So, if there's nothing else, you definitely have a rough kind of plan here. You have your secret credentials. You have the guard. You can ask to pay away. You have an idea of where this archive might be. The truck kind of stops. The doors open. Scarlet glasses up. She says, "I'll be in your ear. Get back safe, and we'll all be toasting come sunrise. Have fun, kids." And she looks back to these schematics. You guys are shuffled out. The doors close, pulls off. It's gone, hidden in these kind of very cramped alleyways. And you are stood in the middle of Vatican City, dead silent.
As we get out, Alex has like multiple versions of his satchel somehow, like the little like leather school book bag thing, and he's like handing them to the others, like, this one's yours, this one's yours, this one's yours. We have an appointment with may I ask what the time is, GM?
Time. So it's been about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So it's around. It gets dark. It's around midnight, 1 a.m.
So we have an appointment with one of the librarians in the Vatican at about 1:30. His name is Father Orsino. He is one of the record keepers, and we are looking for interviews that might have happened between the Vatican and some of the late stage romantics, such as Percy Bysshe Shelley, Byron, during their travels around Europe. There was apparently multiple contacts with the Vatican Church, and because their work had become increasingly critical. So we're gonna go in, pretend to be university professors. We've just touched down. We're tired. I should have asked for food. People are usually usually more relaxed when they see someone eating.
I can handle that. It's okay.
So if you've got any like burgers or fries, things like that, things that like humans eat, that'd be great. Because I can eat. I don't know why. I just can. It's always been a thing. And yeah, people for some reason really like it when they see me eat in front of them. Maybe I'm just off-putting, but yeah. We've got like a cover story, so we can head into the building, say we're looking for his office, maybe get somebody to guide us there or something, but and then use your
I could
knowledge.
help with the guidance bit, and I'll inform the rest of the coterie about the guard that I'm hoping to bribe. And just that perhaps we can pay this person a visit to. Do I have a name for the guard?
Yeah, I'm great with names.
Oops.
Antonio Dolce.
Antonio, our friend here,
Antonio.
is in some need of money, which we can provide, and hopefully that convinces them to show us the place, since we're new.
Marjorie,
That is nice. I like that.
Marjorie, as you reach for one of your cigarettes in your pack, you are listening to this kind of conversation. No doubt you're formulating your plan of attack in your head. Maybe you're savoring the taste of the vitae that so recently satiated you. But in the time you to take the cigarette from the pack to insert it to your mouth, you look up and you're not with the Coterie anymore. You're not even looking at the Vatican anymore. You recognize this, you know that you're having a vision. And you are stood instead in front of a giant mound, cylindrical mound, dirt. Of just some of it crumbles down, and as you're sort of staring up at it, and crawl out, its antenna wiggle as it kind of tastes the air, and then this is huge, and then another. And then another, and another, and another, and another. And soon there's a tidal wave of these black ants pouring past you. They part around you like a rock in a river. As you follow their movements, you see a giant statue. It's like the Colossus of Rhodes. It's bigger than any building you've seen in the modern era. It towers, its fist kind of piercing the sky, but the ants circle around its ankles and they begin biting, 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 and biting. And there's a crack, and the statue shifts, begins to topple down right on top of you. And just before that impact, you snap out of it. And you're standing back in the Vatican with your Coterie.
Okay.
Whoa. That was a little bit more intense than I'm used to. Ooh.
What's wrong?
She'll light up a cigarette.
I just had a vision, and ooh, I think the Vatican's got an army of ants guarding it or something. Because you wouldn't believe the shit I just saw. Oh,
It's a very literal interpretation.
Right.
Smell.
we might want to be a little bit careful about how we approach this.
Are you describing what you like the creature that you saw to us?
No. She's literally saying what I'm saying. She would maybe just mostly what I'm saying and giving you the idea that like we need to be careful. This could be dangerous for us, and if we don't take it right, we could get overwhelmed.
Okay.
It's
You get these
Malkavian,
visions often?
Oh, it's a Malkavian thing. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
The curse,
Yeah,
the curse
you.
of M.
Right. Brilliant.
It's Malkavians. They're probably talking nonsense. I wouldn't worry about it. So, with your information gathered, you have the name. You head into the Vatican City, the sort of Vatican building itself. It's this wide kind of building, it's quite short, really, but there's definitely a feeling of power here, of presence. There's a feeling of history, the place being built on centuries and centuries of belief. To mortals, this place is, of course, the seat of God's representation on earth. And there's a feeling there. There's a feeling of this grace, this power, and this holy seat. You packed kind of quite tight together. You guys are walking forward. The light is bright, but it's not painful. There are Swiss guards sort of on standby. They're used to tourists coming around at all hours. As you scan, you do spot this weak link. Who would like to make the first move?
When you
Marjorie?
say
Oh, sorry, Silver.
No, go ahead, Sylph.
no, my question was when you say the weak link, do you mean? Could you sort of?
Yes, of course. This one who's easily bribed and who has these. Has
Oh, okay.
these,
Yeah, I just wanted to
back
confirm.
ends, this weak link in this security.
I look at Marjorie and I'll just like gently sort of shake my phone as a like I'm ready to send the money whenever on your call.
Okay. Then Marjorie will pull out some lipstick and just touch up her lipstick as she walks over to this man and gets very close to him. And if he'll allow, she'll almost whisper in his ear.
I heard you were having money trouble, sweetheart.
So the Swiss guard are kind of dressed almost like ludicrously. They're dressed in very, very bright colors, as they always have been. The Swiss guard at the Vatican City are the last active Swiss guard in the world. But you get the feeling that this man is very experienced. Around in this space, as well as the Swiss guard being present, there are also armed security. Some with dogs, body armor. They're sort of on patrol, but they're quite tense. No doubt this explosion has kind of set a few people off. Their guns are fully automatic and actually have clear clips to make clear to everyone observing that they are fully loaded. They just kind of walk with the guns sling, but they do glance over and kind of look back. They kind of notice the lanyards that Alex has no doubt presumed that they've been provided kind of around your necks. Marjorie kind of flinches back at the smell of cigarette smoke on your lips and kind of just puts her hand up and goes, I'm going to have to ask you to take a step back, please, ma'am.
So I guess I pictured this differently in my head. Is he not alone then? Like, is he not isolated?
He's not the only one. It's like they're kind of stood at intervals. He's got his back to a door. But you aren't alone in the space. There are other guards present, but none are like close.
Ah, okay. Well then, the Marjorie will step back as she begs him to look into her eyes, and says that
Well then, sweetie, if you don't want to hear what I have to say, maybe you want to hear what your partner has to say over there,
guarding the gate,
who got selected over you for the promotion.
and she'll try to mesmerize him into attacking him.
Does mesmerize work like that? I need to check that quick because I don't. Give me 1 second. Can issue complex commands. So 256. Because I don't. I think because I know you can't order them to do harm to someone else. So give me 1 moment. Complex commands to a victim. Relatively quiet to issue instruction. Must not contain any conditional actions. Yep. According to this, he's totally fine to go off and attack someone else. No.
Commands that go against the victim's nature also require a contest.
But he's also easily
Ooh.
anchored because he was denied his promotion.
I did say that. I did say those words. Yeah, I don't think this goes against this guy's nature. I think he's a bit of a slugger. So fine.
Sorry. I don't want to be the rules lawyer, but I
That's
happen
fine.
to have
What's
the
up?
book right here. It says only an unprepared mortal victim doesn't require a contest. And
An
you just
unprepared
described them as
mortal
being pretty alert and paranoid, so I would say
Correct. Okay, yeah, fine. We'll make it a test. And if you fail, there's no mortals aren't aware that there's been an attempt at mesmerize. Could you first give me a rouse check, please?
Okay.
As you've triggered this discipline.
Sorry, Marjorie.
No.
What number of dice would that be, or what skill?
Rouse. So we're going to start with the rouse check. So that's just 2d10s, just 2 dice. If you fail, your hunger increases.
Okay. 1 success.
1 success. So you take the higher number, so your hunger increases, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Fine. So then this is just a test. You'd still manages to pull it off, but this has to be a test because, as said, he is prepared. He's alert. He's focused. He's a professional. So you're going to be rolling for manipulation plus dominate against his intelligence and resolve.
Can I offer some sort of like advantage, like with an additional die, if I
Not on a mesmerize check.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is specifically to try and take over his mind.
Gotcha.
3 successes.
3 successes. 1 success. So you succeed. He kind of catches your eyes and he frowns, and there's maybe a little bit of hesitation, but then you see the kind of gaze kind of drop, and he's just a bit of a blank stare, and he turns, walks straight over to this other guard. You folks kind of left facing this door, and as you watch, he goes, they speak. The guy goes to say something briefly in Italian, and then there's a smack, and just bang, guy hits the ground. There's a scuffle. You start hearing curse words flinging out. People are running over to go break it up, and you guys have an opportunity here facing this door to get inside.
That's one way of handling it, I will say, as I make my way into wherever the door leads.
Well, the door is firmly locked, so Sam.
Yes. I have some lockpicking something. Yes, something.
You have a limited amount of time to do it in before someone notices.
Let's see. That's dexterity, lockpicking. Okay.
That's a lot of dice, so I think you'll be all right, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Don't jinx it. 2 successes.
I'm not going to give that. I think what I've described is going to be a moderate challenge. It's an old lock. It's a big door. You're on a limited amount of time. You are welcome to burn a willpower to re-roll one of those failures.
Can we attempt other tests instead?
Yes. Soprano?
Well, it's not necessarily the same thing, but I do have locks, if you think about it, are like tiny mechanical puzzles, little things to be solved in the right order. Could I have, maybe my expertise in the area is not nearly as advanced as Sam's, but if I could offer some input to or give it a shot myself with a very quiet.
No, lockpicking is its own skill.
Okay. Yeah. It's a little bit of a stretch.
Topography. It is. It would be a stretch, and that locks are just little puzzles. So it's true. It's true. Alex, it looks like having a moment there.
So again, he takes off the glasses. The moment happens where he stands taller, and he stands taller, broader. I'm gonna need you to move. As he just moves Sam out of the way. He doesn't even wait for her to start, and he's gonna try. Is it strength brawl for this, or is it strength
Strength and
melee?
brawl. You're gonna try and crack down this door. Yeah. Oh, it
Does-
is. No, it'd be brawl. Melee is with a weapon.
So question. I have the specialty of fighting people in armor. Is this door armored?
Nope, that's you specified it was a person, not doors.
Damn.
What is
so-
a door but a person in armor?
I just thought I'd ask because technically you crack a nut the same way no matter what it's around, that sort of
Very
thing. So right, so that gives me I think 6 dice if I
Sorry,
just check.
Silfrani wanted to say something.
Yeah.
No,
so
I
that-
just if this works, it's great. But if it doesn't,
So
I was like-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7
not
dice.
armored wood. 7 dice.
Right.
Beefy rolls. Big
Let's go.
rolls.
Can I use my prowess on this? Does this do anything?
Prowess. Yes, you can activate prowess. That's free to do.
So you see like the muscles begin to bulge. So even like he's been like weedy this whole time, but suddenly he's just suddenly like he's bigger. Like he's starting to like pump
Yes,
blood
add
through it.
potence rating to unarmed dice as well as feats of strength.
So
yeah.
that's 2 more. So 9 dice in total.
9 dice, folks. Might even do just +2 to whatever you roll.
Ooh,
Like you
I've
don't
got-
have to roll for it.
I've got 8 successes, but 1 possible bestial failure. I don't know what that means.
So how many successes did you get?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8, but you would have failed. If it's a possible B-star failure, it's because you would have failed. You would have critical failed on the hunger dice, but you didn't fail the test, so you're fine.
Okay.
If the test had failed, then we would have been in real problem. Okay, so you do
So-
feel.
Did you roll a 10?
I don't know. It on the dice roll, it doesn't actually tell you like what you rolled. It just has.
It
has-
would if it has 2 little stars underneath the cross.
Oh, I have two of those 2 stars.
If you roll the critical fail on the beast die and you roll crits, that's a messy critical.
I've got 2 crits and 1 bestial.
yeah.
fail.
Is the critical on your hunger die?
So
is it red?
How do I know? No, the bestial fail is on the critical die. Is on the hunger die.
So the critical is on the hunger die.
Yeah, the
Is
critical
that a
fail.
critical success or
The
critical
crit,
fail?
the crit fail is on the hunger die. The 2 crit successes are on the action
Okay, no,
dice.
then I don't think it's a messy critical because it's only
you're
if
fine.
the crit is on the hunger die. Sorry, just
Yeah.
checking.
Yeah, you're fine. It would be a messy critical if you're part of a critical win, but one of the crits was on the hunger one, but you're fine.
So what happens is it looks like Alex is gonna like open the door and like force it open, but actually what he does is he just like palms it and and it just comes off
Yeah.
the hinges, and he's just like
Just monk.
yeah, and then you see him kind of turn around. He's like, "Come on!" Like, and like that bestial roar, and you actually begin to see that some of his teeth are like sharpening, and he like quickly stumbles for the glasses, and he puts them back on, and then suddenly like the meekness comes back. Are you coming or not? Like,
Alex,
You want to put the door back so it doesn't look like anyone broke it down? Maybe.
what did you? Yeah, I totally forgot about that. What were you going to say, Luke?
I was going to say, while I describe what happens next, would you be so kind as to give me a rouse check?
Rouse. How do I do that?
Two regular 2d10. Let me know how many successes or failures you got.
Do I need a hunger dice with that?
They're 2 dice, because this is to see if your hunger increases.
Okay. 1 success on the hunger dice.
Your hunger does increase. So you've channeled this prowess. You've fuel the beast inside you, but you've had to pull that energy from somewhere, and that's come from the beast, and that hunger increases. So you're on 2 dots now.
Yep.
Soprano, as you've seen Alex blow these doors open.
She flinches like, oh, this is so much for not leaving a trace of us going in. She looks at Alex. We should put that back in place from the inside if possible.
I'm sure the Camarilla will be able to handle any cleanup, and they might need to, because Alex, your strength roll was so impressive. You didn't specify to me that you wanted to be controlled.
No,
So the
it
door-
would have been pure
the
panic
door
took
has
over.
blown open. The wood has shattered, and that noise is loud. You realize now that this scuffle behind you has just gone silent. The mesmerize on this guy would have dropped by now, and you are being just stared down. And there is a kind of like Looney Tunes style pause, and then there's just shouting as these guys begin to scramble and head.
Fuck. Okay.
Purpose. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
I couldn't ignore. I couldn't ignore.
Oh no, very valid. Just-
Oops. Anybody want to run? Anybody want to run? That is
Yep,
also an
running,
option. Like
running.
go. Like someone who knows the way, go first. Like,
I will say that. Can I say that when I noticed that Alex wanted to break down the door, that I quickly pulled out my tablet or something and set the loop going, because knowing that we're going to be sneaking through because we're not getting a guided tour.
Absolutely. Yeah.
oh, as I run past as well, can I pick up the door and then be at the back of our running line, so that if they start
Ooh.
firing at us, I can use the door as like a shield. Like
yes, I'll say that your potence is still active, and so you are quite able to just scoop it up and just have it on your back. It's going to make hiding more difficult.
How many of these people are staring us down?
6.
6 of them.
Oh, that's not bad.
Jeez.
I
It is for Sam.
Okay. As we're starting to run, I will glance back at Antonio, was his name?
Sure.
And just, if I can sort of whisper under my breath, but loud enough for, because they were brawling right where we were at. So
Yes.
just go, help us, and you'll go to bed today with more money than you've ever had in your life.
So tell if he hears it, because there's definitely, he looks quite confused. This guy's just kind of woken up as if from sleepwalking.
Yeah.
But pauses. These other guys don't.
And to just sort of prove a little bit of that point, I will, like, in my pocket, just send off that sort of signal, like, hey, transfer some of the money. And I'm stepping back as I'm speaking. Just where.
Sure. Hey, kind of retreating inside. Marjorie, are you joining the Coterie inside on their retreat, on their expeditious retreat?
I mean, I thought she would have a cigarette break. No, of course she's going to join them.
So Scarlet's in your ear as you guys flee into the building, and she kind of starts something and goes, well, that's certainly one way of doing it. Thank you, Alex. Sam kind of barks an order and says, I need you to deactivate these alarms before the signal heads off to the local police station.
Well, to do that, I need to not be like fired at and chased. So I need to find a spot.
Well, that sounds like something that you guys are going to have to figure out on your own. Here's how this is going to work. We're going to do a group test to see if you guys can get away and hide yourselves. If you don't, then things are going to get messy. I'm going to have to rewrite some stuff. Messier. So here's how this is going to work. A couple of you have obfuscate powers. A few of you have obfuscate, actually, now that I think about it. Unseen passage and such. So, something. Yeah, a few of you do, okay. Yeah, Cloak of Shadows, Mental Maze. Spoilers.
Just
Fine.
not me.
So,
just not me.
Just not you. Just not you. So what this test is going to be is if you guys can break away and find a way to hide quickly. So you can only activate obfuscate powers when no one is looking at you. You cannot vanish in front of someone. You have to be out of line of sight. So here's how the test is going to work. I want everybody to give me dexterity. I'm going to say, actually,
Luke, can I make a suggestion?
you can.
So I have this door, right?
You do.
Technically, you break line of sight if you're trying to dodge a door that's being thrown in your direction.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
So Alex if you would allow it as part of my contribution to this group check, Alex is willing to fastball special this door at them as they come round the corner. Like he will literally javelin this thing like Zeus's lightning.
Yeah, totally fine. So yeah, you guys are formulating this plan kind of as you're sprinting through these beautiful marble corridors with art and gorgeous pictures of the wall, and you just stop and just like when this huge door, solid wood, just goes sailing towards this group in this narrow corridor, and then just bowl down just for the moment. There's this big crash. Would everybody please give me, and I'm going to say you get +1 of this because they're distracted. Would everyone please give me a wits because you're thinking on your feet? I'm going to say wits and stealth.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Not dexterity because we're moving quickly.
I think it's less. I'm going to say wits because it's less to do with moving quickly and more about knowing where to move.
Okay.
And we have
So
+1.
+1, yes. And this is going to be a group thing.
Do I get the +1 because as well, or because I'm causing the distraction and giving it to them?
You get the +1 as well because you're also part of this group. So, and if everyone would just tell me, I'm going to say that this is going to be quite challenging. So I'm going to say if you get over four successes or more, then you pass. If you don't, then you fail.
Okay, I have 7 dice. So.
I have 4 and 2 hunger dice. So.
critical success.
Great.
So is it difficulty 4, Luke?
Difficulty is 4, yeah.
So anything 5 and above is a success?
4 and above.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Cool. I
So we've
have...
got 1 success. Dabs.
I forgot to put in the difficulty, but it says 4 successes, possible messy crit.
What successes did you... What's your hunger dice? Is it a success or a failure?
It's the ankh with the little things.
That's a
Sure.
messy
Okay,
critical.
fine. So yes, messy critical, part of a critical win. How many criticals do you have? 1 or 2?
1.
So it's not part because it's not part of a critical win. You need 2 of those for it to be a critical win. You're okay. So you got 4 successes,
Yes.
2 passes. Intriani.
So I have 5 successes, and 2 of them are 10s.
Yeah, fine. So that's enough successes. You will manage to navigate this twisted kind of corridor, occasionally stopping to you'll break off down an alleyway and Alex will keep running and you'll grab the bag of shit. Drag him.
Alex bestial failed.
What does that mean for us? Also, while you're recovering, the way I lose. Okay, this is apparently really bad. Oh god. Okay.
So Alex just stops in the middle of the corridor, and his jaw unhinges and extends into a protracted snout of wolf lupin form. Claws come out his back and he just becomes this bestial titan. And hearing the people behind him, Because I go frenzy, don't I, on bestial fails?
No, frenzy is its own thing. Beast-style failure means you fail, but you expose part of your vampiric nature in the process. It's messy. A frenzy is its own thing. A frenzy can be triggered by hunger, fire, something.
I missed it, but I still like basically.
No, it's fine. I still think in a
basically
beast-style
shift.
failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
still
I
think in a beast-style failure you would have beast-style features. I do think some of
Yeah.
those would develop.
And like my ears
Meanwhile,
point up.
the three ladies have ducked into a vent or something
Yeah.
and are totally out
Yeah,
of sight.
so what happens is the coach would kind of manage to vanish, but as you are doing so, you kind of look around and you realize, okay, the alarms aren't going, you managed to be cut off. We're safe. If the alarms aren't going, it means no one's managed to report it yet. What's occupying them? And then in the camera around, you realize Alex isn't with you. And the camera swings as Alex is stood in this corridor with this kind of group of humans approaching you, kind of guns raised, and they're barking orders at you and Valiant. So your B-star failure at that point was that you just stopped. You just came to a dead stop because the animal inside of you is like, no, I'm a predator. I am not chased. So how are we going from here?
Good thing this isn't being recorded on any cameras.
It's very good. It's a very good thing.
Can I? Because I had to sit down and like disable the alarms and stuff, right? So even if they wanted to report it, they couldn't. So that's what Sam is like. She pulled out her tiny little laptop and it's just like typing away, just like nope.
Yeah. The alarms. You see that the alarms have managed to be. It's quite easy, kind of cut off. They use it for like tests and stuff. So the alarms are sounding locally, but they aren't being transmitted to outside security and like the police.
Because I still have the original camera feed, I can see what's happening. And
you can.
I on my earpiece I go, Scarlet, we may have a problem.
And
Scarlett is also, I assume, has also been patched into this feed, and she's in the van. She's just kind of staring.
Oh yeah, it's in the van.
So camera swings. Alex.
It's I am the apex of apex predators, I'm afraid. and yeah, as he turns around, like he like looks at them, blood red eyes, like ready to go, like you dare chase me, like straight.
You're just going straight. You're just going straight in there.
Up the wall, like bang, like coming straight down at them. Yeah, I am going.
Cool. Okay, here's how this is going to work. You're fighting a handful of these guys.
Avenge me.
You're fighting. I'm going to say a few have probably stopped, so I'm going to say 3. These guys are quite well armed, but you've caught them by surprise. So I'm going to ask you to give me 3 strength plus brawl rolls, and they're wearing armor. But on so let's say to make the maths easy, let's say on one of those, let's say that normally is 5 dice. You're going to roll 1 at 5, 1 at 4, and 1 at 3. That's how fighting multiple opponents works.
1 at 4, 1 at 5, 1 at 4, 1 at 3.
Yeah. So what?
Do I not get? Would I not get prowess as well because of the fact that
it would? Yeah. So your total is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're activating prowess, so that's going to be a rouse check. So then that adds your potent.
What about feral weapons? Is that just going off?
How does feral weapon? Give me one moment.
Because I'm going full wannabe werewolf.
That's going to be another rouse check. The vampire can extend, and then that adds into a piercing for a weapon. That adds +2 as well. So you are rolling for me in total 8, 10, 12 dice. So you're rolling 1 at 12, 1 at 11, 1 at 10.
12.
I don't think these guys are getting out of here.
12. So we'll do the 12 first. Don't know the difference.
With your hunger dice, yeah.
Yeah, with 2 hunger. So I've got 6 successes, 1 crit, 1 crit, on the first one. 10.
Fine.
Uh, 7 successes, but possible bestial failure again because I've got
How many? What was that one? The 11. What was the 11 dice one?
11 dice was 1 crit and 2 crits on my blood dice, so possible bestial failure.
So, how many successes in total?
7.
But the 2 criticals were on hunger dice.
1 critical was on the action, but 2 criticals were on the hunger dice.
Okay.
Messy critical
Noted.
again.
What's
And
the
then-
10? And then finally, what's the 10?
No. Oh, and then 10 now is roll 7 successes with 2 crits, but 2 possible crit bestial failures on hunger again. This machine is broken. This machine is broken.
7 successes. Were the crits on hunger dice?
2 crits were on hunger dice and 2 crits were on normal dice.
That's not a B-star failure, excuse me. That is a messy critical. Because the hunger dice were part of a critical win. Sorry, the one that we said was a B-star failure. How many? That was 7 successes.
7 successes, 1 critical, but 2 B-star failures on hunger dice.
Oh, 2 B-star failures.
So this
but
one,
7
this one,
successes. Oh, you're
is-
fine then. You're fine.
this one is 7 successes as well, because on the
Just-
previous one it was 7 with 1 crit on normal, 2 crits fails on hunger dice. This one is 2 crits on action, 2 crits on hunger dice. Crit
it
fails on
helps-
hunger
Fine.
dice.
See,
If it helps, the critical fail on the hunger dice only does something if you don't actually succeed at your roll.
yeah, so you're
It
fine.
doesn't do anything
You-
if you actually succeed.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine, and you've got a messy critical on that last one.
Mhm.
So, yeah, sorry, this dice system, it's a little, this is such a rules-like game, but the dice system can be really needlessly complicated. So here's what happens. Let me paint this scene of brutality. So you go and bounding after these guys, and they're just frozen for the moment. You know, their rifle barrels drop. You know, these are hardened military vets, but they've never seen anything like what the hell's bounding at them right now. There's a movement, and you kind of pound onto the wall and just push off, and the wall actually breaks underneath your feet. And this first guy just down. You know, claws. Have you gone with claws for lethal weapons?
Yeah, claws.
Yeah.
It'd be
So
claws, I'm
you're
going.
like on your nails, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
like
So you just plow forward and just pierces this guy's chest, and they actually enter the floor underneath him and kind of break through into the wood. You could pull yourself up. This second guy goes to raise his gun, and you just follow up and just claws into the sternum, through the ribs. He's just suspended for a moment in the air. You know, his armor's just gone. He just rips out. Gore and viscera comes pouring out this hole. And then we're on to the messy critical. And this guy is backing away, his hands shaking. He goes to try to raise his weapon, and you just leap forward and you hook the claws. You kind of pull the armor away, and he's begging. And you just hook the claws into the base of his head, and there's a sound like, I want you to imagine you're breaking like raw bones, just a crunching wet sound as his throat and trachea are just separate, and his head lopes back at a distorted angle, and Vitae just pours onto your face, and you're stood.
Can we drink
No.
from people like this?
Yes, 1000% you can drink.
Yeah,
from
I
this guy.
literally, with this guy like head ripped off, and obviously the whole like fatality, like he's just gonna like lift it up and like again detach his jaw and like almost like down him, like shotgun him. Like
that you just slurp that man up like a goddamn Capri Sun.
how much does that decrease my hunger by?
Because you've already killed him, you don't drain him. to the point of death, it's not about how much you drink, it's that last drop. So that just decreases it by 1. Actually,
Whoa.
first, could you give me your 2 rouse checks for the 2 powers you activated?
So that's
See how much
two-
your hunger increases. What's your hunger
two-
on right
2.
now? Ooh.
So it's 2 dice. But I've got 2 hunger already. 2 successes on the first rouse check.
Yep, you're fine. So hunger doesn't increase on that one.
0 successes on the second.
Hunger increases once you're on 3. You are draining him though, so you go back to 1 hunger. So you're at 1 hunger. Right, folks. So there's that quiet stillness. The alarms are still sounding, but there is definitely a concern. There is definitely this feeling that time is now no longer on your side. This is, the Camarilla were happy for this one to be messy, but things may be getting out of hand. You guys emerge from your hiding space. You're back.
Oh
back
no,
to this
not again.
Field of gore. Yeah, you step out this field of gore, staring at the mild-mannered Alex. Looking guide, from what you know about it, you actually know that you're near where this black spot would be.
Right. There's something weird about the blueprints right here in this spot. Once we step closer to that, can I sort of maybe do an investigation of sorts to figure out?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you please give me? That's just going to be intelligence plus investigation.
Can I
do
help
I
with
get-
that?
Yes, you can. So that's another dice.
So 3 for intelligence, 3 for investigation,
Plus 1.
1 from Sam, and do I get my +1 from architecture?
Not only because it has to be an investigation. It would have to be like an investigation. It would have to be like a roll on that skill.
Tied
So it would have to be
to.
an
Got it.
athletics roll.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's 10, 10, 9, 10, 6, 7, and a 2. So
You're fine. You're fine. That's a good amount of successes. Sure. So you, despite all the kind of gore around you and I'm going to say, just because it's fun, everyone's hunger increases by 1. You're surrounded with gore and freshly slain corpses. Not yours, because this was your work, but everyone else's hunger at the smell. So as you kind of stop and look around, you realize that you've been able to identify that this is where it is on the kind of blueprints, and you notice that there is a door, and your vision's kind of drawn to one section of the wall that doesn't look quite right. And as you approach it, you see, you kind of brush your hand over, and you feel the air, kind of very, very slight breath of cold air against your fingers from this
like
gap.
it's hollow behind.
Yeah, and you feel. And as you kind of go, you see a very, very gentle glowing of light from
Right.
behind the wall, what looks like a keypad. So there is this hidden keypad underneath the surface of this wall.
Great. I am going to, can I figure out, like, can I access that mechanism from where I am?
It's a keypad, so as you kind of press it,
Right,
you
I
are
could
able
just-
to kind of
okay,
activate
cool,
it. You activate Blush of Life, so
Right.
you can use touchpads.
Right.
But it is encrypted.
Right.
So you will need like an ID, or you will need like you will need to know the code.
I am professional enough to come prepared for situations like this. I'm
Yes.
going to reach into one of like my pockets that are on this sort of like jacket that I'm wearing, and
Sure.
I will take out like a little vial of this white powder and a very soft kabuki brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of
Okay.
powder and sort of dust it onto the keypad itself to see which of the numbers are more greasy or more worn out, to see which numbers
Very
are
Tell you what then, do you also want to give me an intelligence plus do cryptography?
Technology, I think it would be for an electronic keypad.
I think because it's less to do with the keypad, it's more to do with knowing the most likely combination of numbers. So Brenna, what's your cryptology one
Insight?
attached to? Is that
It's
Yes.
it's
or is-
it's attached to academics.
Yeah, this would be more of an insight roll, I think. So intelligence plus insight, please.
Okay, so that's a 4. 10.
Yeah. And this is just going to be how quickly.
Oh. Yeah, 9, 9, 8, and a 5.
What were the hunger dice on?
Oh, all right. I gained a hunger back, right? I didn't actually roll one, so
That's fine. If you just want to roll one down, we'll take it.
I rolled a 2.
So we'll replace that failure with a hunger failure. So that was 2 successes, yeah?
No, 3 successes and a failure.
3 successes. Okay, that's fine. Yes. So it takes you a little bit of time as you're having to like punch in these numbers, but you know you can figure out like what's the number sequence most likely. What codes do people most often use, and so you are able to kind of do it with a relative amount of speed. And the door hisses open, and descending down is a stone stairwell. There is a Scarlet comes in your ear and kind of communicates and says, "We're getting some activity out here. I'd rather get in, get out as quick as you can. All right."
That was the plan. I will obfuscate and make my way down.
What obfuscate power are you using?
Unseen passage.
Let's see, passage. Give me 1
No,
second.
no
just to see.
sound when I move, I think.
Yeah, that's free. Oh no, sorry. Unseen passage is its own thing. That means you may now move while staying hidden. So you're invisible and you can move while you're invisible.
Right.
But it still costs a rouse. So would you please give me a rouse check just
Okay.
to see if your hunger increases?
I rolled a 9.
Could you roll? So it's 2 dice for your rouse check.
Oh, right, because now I have another hunger.
It's just because of your blood potency.
Oh. 9 and a 10. Damn, okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Your hunger does not increase. Are those who are able to do so cloaking up as well?
Yeah, I will use Silence of Death.
Sure. That's free to
And-
use, so your footsteps make no sound.
And my stealth specialty is also silent movement. So I'm just trying to be as quiet as possible.
Fine. Alex, Marjorie, you follow behind this, your invisible kind of companions. You descend down from what was a very, very classical, beautiful historical center. You've descended down into now almost like a laboratory. The space is clinical, it's quiet, secure. There's a rush of water. You can very, very faintly hear a rush of water. There's a hum of electricity from these bright, bright lights above you. You progress forwards. There's no sort of guard presence here. You can barely even hear the alarms at this point. You seem to have gone down quite a fair distance. It doesn't take much to find the server room. It's drawing an enormous amount of power from the space. It's loud in there with all these fans. So you open the door and there's this rush of cold air. It's really, really kept like liquid nitrogen cooled kind of space. And it's just filled with rows upon rows of server banks. You guys know what you're looking here. Silverana, would you be so kind
Yes.
as to give me a wits plus investigation roll to see how quickly your coterie is able to identify
6.
to find this server?
Can I assist again? Because I'm also pretty good at that.
You can indeed.
So is that a +1?
That is a +1.
And 2 hunger dice, right?
With 2 hunger dice.
Okay, so I'll roll these first and then I'll do the hunger dice.
Sure.
Okay.
Just letting you know, Newcom posted up at the door to check that nobody's coming.
Totally fine. Thank you.
9, 6, 6, 7, 8,
9.
2 and a 3. So
So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes, 2 failures, and hunger dice a 9 and a 6. So I think that's fine.
Yeah, that is fine. So, you succeed. So Alex has taken position at the door. Marjorie, you're very deep now in enemy territory. What are you doing?
Besides lighting up a new smoke, Marjorie will be waiting with Alex to see if anybody else is coming. And actually, she'll use her Auspec's heightened sense to listen for anybody.
Sure. So you kind of tune out this background noise and you become aware of all these little noises. You can hear the hum, power generators. You can hear the rumble of cars passing above you. You can hear murmured conversations coming from rooms. You can hear the noise of the server bank is almost deafening as you two are posted up there. So Frenna, Sam, you go deeper into this server room and you find this bank. You find this specific drive.
What color
you're
is
able
it for Sam?
Sorry, the drive?
Yes, the signal from the drive. What color is it?
Oh, it's like a deep kind of red. Yeah, it's a deep red. There's it's almost a malevolent kind of glow. But you found this drive now. What are you guys going to do with it?
Take it out of the server bank?
Sure.
We need to destroy it, right?
Yeah.
Well, we need to take it out first,
easily.
unless you want to destroy everything, which I don't think we
no.
want to do.
No, sorry, that was not like an in-character interruption. So,
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
my bad.
You eject it quite easily, and you're holding this, data bank just in your hand, and it's quite odd to think this thing, which weighs less than, a bag of sugar, could have the power to wipe out us.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that has been plugged into this. Like if they're decrypting data, that means they have to run it through something. Is there going to be packets of that data still available for them, even if we take the drive? Is it a good idea to destroy everything so that there's no chance of salvaging? And I say this as someone with very limited tech experience. I just know that GDPR, like all I know is from my job, GDPR, like anything that could possibly have potential information on it needs to be destroyed because it can be recovered. So
it's a very good question.
From my limited knowledge, they would have to run the encryption on the server itself.
Which I'm guessing.
It depends how many backups they made.
What Luna explained was the cleanup is very doable. So if they've got half of it, that's fine. The issue is if they have everything. And if securing this drive would mean they don't have everything. So you get the feeling that they would be able to handle, like if there was any information that did get out. But if everything got out once, there just wouldn't be time to deal with that. It's one thing
since I'm using their equipment, can I use the same worm that I still had, and directly insert it now that I'm in the server bank? Can I directly insert it into the server bank?
Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to make you sort of roll for that because you're there. So you sort of have your kind of USB, slots it inside. How do you guys want to destroy this actual disk?
So that's what I was gonna go into. Before she tucks it into her bag, she's going to open it up and
Sure.
meticulously pull out all the little bits off the chip.
Sure.
Just pull them off and break the chip in bits. So even if they happen to get caught, there is no restoring the hardware because it's just
Very
in
clever.
pieces.
Can I help with that? And this is maybe a bit of a stretch on how this works, but I will sort of make that very impractical slice in the middle of my palm and let my blood sort of drip over the bits and pieces that you're taking apart. With my blood sorcery, I have corrosive vitae.
It's going to cost
Yep.
you a rouse check, but you absolutely can do that.
Yeah, whatever. I'll do it. Okay. Oh, 10 and a 5. I don't know if that's one failure, but
10 and a 5, that is a fail. Your hunger does increase.
okay.
But very good. So the kind of cut comes through and you squeeze your palm using the power of the Tremere sorcery. Your blood, the vampire fire drips down onto this dried, and there's this
It sizzles and
hiss.
hisses.
Yeah,
Sam looks
this
up at
burning
Silfrani and goes, "Neat trick.
Thank you.
I need to learn how to do that."
I'd love to show you.
Tremere get fun stuff. As you folks are down here, as you're kind of perhaps even taking a breath, now that this drive's been dealt with and now you've just got to go, there's this crackling noise coming in your earpiece, and you hear Scarlett's voice come through, and there's a puncture of gunfire as she's speaking, and you just hear her go, "You guys need to get out of there. Shit has hit the fan. We've got..." Kind of cuts off before you can catch any further information. Marjorie, perfect timing. As Scarlett's signal cuts out in your ear, with your heightened senses, you hear voices closing on your position. And they say words that turn any kindred's blood to ice. "Blank bodies identified. Lethal force authorized." And you would know that that is terminology used by the Second Inquisition.
Okay, Marjorie would deactivate her heightened sense.
Yep. Smart.
And then let Alexander and potentially the other two know what's coming, and then she would try to find a position to post up and hide with Cloak of Shadows.
Fine.
Can since I'm connected to the van still, can I send like a kill switch to all the electronics in the van to just fry
Absolutely.
everything? So they can't,
That's
even if
something-
they capture Scarlet, they can't get anything off the hard drives or
Yeah.
computers?
That is something you would have built in. So absolutely. Yeah.
I have a player question. Is the reason you deactivated your senses, can they tell when a vampire is using their abilities or something? Why would you turn it off?
So if they flash me with a bright light or there's a loud noise, that would disorient or hurt me in some way.
Okay. So it's not like they can just detect like.
No, it's just imagine if you had super hearing on and someone throws a flashbang into the room.
Got it.
Yeah.
I am going to say, "I need your help, little buddy." And this spider sort of crawls up the side of my neck and into my ear. And I sort of like place one hand on the wall and the other hand, and then like spider climb up onto the wall and sort of like on the roof start moving. Hopefully they're not looking up as much as ahead and around themselves.
Alex, you're up, champ.
So have they arrived at the door?
Not yet. you based on like kind of what you've heard, and you've got this idea of like distance and stuff, you do think you would have an opportunity to bolt, but that time is very rapidly ticking down.
I think that I think it's going to have to be that way. What's the wall? Sometimes it do be like that. What's the wall in front of me looking like?
The wall in front of you,
Yep. What's the wall in front of me looking like?
solid. Looks like steel.
Technically, I'm
Tell me
not
what you're planning.
joking.
Tell me what you're planning. Oh, yeah, tell me what you're planning on doing.
I was at the top of the stairs looking at like out to see if
Yes.
anybody was
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
our
yeah.
way. So technically, I'd still be on like the Vatican floor. So my thing was to just bolt across the thing and basically bulldoze my way through the wall and maybe draw attention, but also make a fucking exit for myself because I'm not getting out of here via stealth. Like that's not in the
so
cards for me.
You want a hole through this wall to get to the outside.
Yas.
Okay, I am happy for you to try it. It's going to take a meaty amount of successes, but you can activate Potence. You can also activate Blood Surge to add yet another 2 dice.
What's Blood Surge?
That is your hunger increases, but you get to throw 2 dice onto your roll.
Okay, right. So this would be Strength, which is 4, plus Brawl,
definitely
which
gonna be
is
strength.
4,
Yeah.
8, then plus Prowess, which is 10, plus Blood
Yeah.
Surge, which is 1. Did you say?
Blood Surge is 2.
That's 2. So that's 12 dice in total with 1 hunger dice before, or does the hunger dice apply before I do the roll?
Your hunger dice is included in the 12, so one of those dice is a hunger dice.
But I meant it's in like the,
Oh, it increases, so you're up to 2. Yeah, you're up to 2.
Yeah,
dice.
so 2.
Because you are drawing on the power of the beast to pull this
Yeah.
off.
Because my my floor, right? I've got the
Sure.
floor dark secret, and I was looking at this the other day. Would it be possible? Can they? They don't instill any benefits, do they?
The floors, no.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Dark Secret is mostly because in like social combat, people could use it against you.
Okay. So it's social combat, right? I'm going to try and go through this wall in front of us, and then if me and Marge can get out that way, maybe that's the way to go. So I'm rolling 2 hunger dice, 12 dice pool. Boom.
Don't like that face.
It's 3 successes.
How many?
3.
You can burn a willpower to re-roll one of the failures.
Willpower reroll. Reroll. You. Reroll. 4 successes and one of them's a crit.
Any of the others crit?
No, just 1.
I'm going to say that was going to be at least 5. So no, you fail. I'm afraid you kind of put, you trigger everything and you draw on the beast and you kind of charge into it.
So I lose
but
a willpower.
The wall doesn't give.
Hunger. Shit.
Shit,
We can't
shit,
fight these
indeed.
guys. Any other plans? Anybody got any other plans apart from?
Yeah, I was getting the other plans.
I mean, I had a plan, but I was waiting for shit to go down. Should I say it now?
Explain the
Sure.
Shit is
plan.
going down.
Shit
Shit is
Well, so
on its way down.
so Marge was gonna hide, right? And she was going to wait for the team that's coming on us to kind of enter, and she was gonna pick off the last person and try to mesmerize them as well, and let them. And using her mesmerize, she would tell them something along the lines that they have also infiltrated our team. One of them hides among us. Kill them all to get rid of the infiltrator.
You would know that wouldn't work against like a team like this. Against like maybe a rogue band of mercenaries, maybe, but you would know that these are going to be very specialist trained troops.
Okay, well then her other option was to just fucking decapitate the last person and just try and come from behind to help them, because she got the garrote, right? So she's just gonna like the last person to run by, as they're like running in, she's gonna hold it out and just like let him run into it and pull back and just.
Okay, gang. Here's how this is going to roll. It's going to go down. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that there's one of each of these. There's 4 of these guys in total. I'm going to say that Alex, after your valiant attempt, you guys have regrouped, and there is the option, as you know, for you all to launch just an all-out attack. Take your
There's only
positions.
one way in here, though, isn't there?
There's only one way in, yes.
Well, we've got the advantage in that way. Like, let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's do it, boys and girls.
So, here's how this is going to work. I'm going to have these numbers because 2 of these guys aren't going to be detecting because 3 of you are an obfuscate. So they're going to be reduced. That.
I will also activate my celerity, Cat's Grace.
Fine. What does Cat's Grace do again? I can't find it.
It's level 1.
Yep, got it. Run or walk across ledges and wires effortlessly. Very cool. So you're hidden. Marjorie's hidden. Savannah's hidden. Alex, you're standing as you see this group coming down this stairwell. You know, they've got like reinforced collars around their necks, weapons raised. You know, the rest of you are hidden. Here's how this is going to work.
Also, just for those of you not familiar with VTM, people who have true faith have magic powers that can hurt us. They might have some of these, judging by the smile on our storyteller's face. So careful.
It might just
Yay.
be. It might just be
Okay.
that we have to end it.
So you will come down, pouring down like ants, some might say. Marjorie, your attack is going to be a strength plus melee roll as you're using a weapon. And then it's going to be a +1 to whatever you've rolled
Okay, so
as you pick off this last person.
but +1, so not +1 dice, just plus.
No, it's not +1 dice, it's +1 like damage.
Okay. Ooh.
Actually, it's going to be +2, I think, because I'm going to call it piercing damage.
Oh goodness. Oh, that's okay. 3 successes.
Mhm. And then plus the 2. Okay. Sam, what's your plan?
Sam's not really a fighter. She kind of only asked for the gun just as a last resort. So she will act if the rest doesn't. Like, if it looks like one of the members is in trouble, she will shoot with the silenced pistol. She will shoot whoever is causing a Coterie member trouble, basically. So hold off on me until everyone else is gone.
Sylvana,
I
you're up on the ceiling.
Yeah, I was going to run, and a part of me is still tempted to. I don't know these people that well. I could just get out of here, but then I see Sam jump into action, and I'm like, oh fuck! And I will take out my own silenced pistol and just from where I am, upside down, take aim and see if I can like headshot 1 or 2 of them.
Alex.
Can I just say I love that Sam and Sylfrani are just already buddies.
I know. I love that for us.
It's
Last,
gonna be
but certainly not least.
It's gonna be full. I'm gonna wait for. I'm basically gonna be the one who they like come in on. I'll act as bait, and then as soon as I see the one guy's head come off, hopefully, I'm gonna go full beast mode and just go forward and hope I can repeat the corridor, knowing I probably can't. But I'm gonna try and repeat the corridor with these guys and see if I can do it. I'll take all the rouse rolls. I'll take everything you need from me. Like I'll just roll as many dice as possible.
I'm going to do something different. We're going to do this really, really zoomed out. 1, 2, 3, 4. With one person who feels lucky, please roll a d10 4 times.
I think I've been rolling decently.
It's definitely
The
not
whole
fucking
game.
me. Like, it's definitely not me.
I would not recommend you. Yeah, it's true.
Or should
All
each
roll
of
4
us
d10s. All roll 4
or
d10s
should
and let me know how
should
many
each of us
successes you
roll
get.
one, maybe?
Yeah, good idea. Everyone roll one.
Let's do that. Yeah.
So it's not just one person's fault if this goes badly.
Yeah, just luck be a lady.
Okay, roll.
I got crit, baby. Baby.
A
One success. Indrani.
I rolled a 10 as well.
2 successes. Sam.
Regular success.
3 successes. Dabs.
I got a 2.
1 fail. Okay, right. My turn. Here we go. That's 3 successes. So, to visualize this, there is a clang. You've got highly trained mortals, armored, weaponized. You've got kindred backed up to a corner, pinned to the edge of its cage. Marjorie, the Garrett, you come out of your invisibility and the Garrett snaps around this guy's neck and he's pulled back off his feet. As soon as he comes down, knife comes out of his belt and just jams into your leg, pulls down, wasting no time. Sam, you kind of draw your weapon out, you start to head in as soon as this shit hits the fan. So Fenna, from your position on the ceiling, you kind of grip and just pull the weapon out, just bullets impact on these heavily armored heads, and the guns swing and begin to fire up at you. Alex, you find you're stood face to face against this towering human, heavily armored, fully automatic shotgun, and you see him take his sweet time as he loads in dragon's breath rounds. And
yikes, brother.
There's a flash as you kind of rip into him and he rips into you and the shot goes off. It's deafening in this enclosed. But as soon as this violence erupts, you take bullets rip through you, knives enter, blood scatters across the room. But almost as soon as this violence erupts, it ends. There is a crack of gunfire and there is the boat, and you see one by one these Inquisition grab onto you and they drop, and you're stood there, bullet holes through your stomach, through your shoulders, bruises forming over your bodies, vitae and gore scattering your face, and you look up. Scarlet stood at the head of the stairs, nursing what looks like a pretty bad burn across her face. Surrounding her are some of the security members who so kindly escorted you in. And she kind of sinks back and just lowers the gun that she's holding and just goes, okay, maybe this was the last job. We've got about 30 seconds.
I will take off immediately at not wasting a moment, and as I'm sort of running, the blood that drips from my body like acid sort of sinks into it, corrodes everything behind me. And I will grab onto Scarlet and try to make sure that I don't get my blood on her, but whatever, she can deal with a few more burns, and drag her body out with me if I can.
Very good. So we're gonna start. Unfortunately, folks, this good times cannot last forever. So I am gonna start to draw these scenes to a close. Sam, as you're escorted out into the cool of the night air,
I was gonna say when in the moment where the gunfire silences, I was gonna look at Scarlet and go, "I love you," and along with Silfrani, help drag her along outside.
Marjorie.
You're welcome to narrate if you like what she does.
Fine. So we'll jump to Alex then, and then I'll wrap up our scene.
Alex is just in the middle of the melee. Like his entire top half of clothing is gone. Like he is pretty much like almost like hulked out. He's just managed to get his pants are still there, but that's about it. And the glasses that he's been wearing this whole time are just like shattered on the floor. And seeing that like wild look in his eye does not dissipate. It does not. As soon as he sees Scarlet, he like almost like the Horde from Split, like just straight out following them, but leaves the glasses behind and does not pick them up.
So your group is Marjorie. You know, you took managed. Luckily, your cigarettes. One cigarette managed to survive the brawl, and you managed to shakily light it. To draw our story to a close, as soon as you're led out, Luna is waiting. She looks very unperturbed by what's happened, but she thanks you all for your fine work. The money will be transferred to your accounts. And then just as the car you're in begins to pull away, you'll begin to feel that pull of day sleep. The sun is rising. You know that you haven't really got much time. The place you're in is secure. Scarlet kind of leans back, looks to you all, and she goes, "Always a pleasure working with you." And then she kind of just goes, and the camera will zoom out as this van pulls away, vanishing into the anonymity of the Italian countryside. The camera zooms up and we see a sea of police cars closing in on Vatican City. And that will be the end of our chronicle. Thank you all very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to everyone who's donated.
Chin chin. Chin
Well
chin.
done.
Amazing, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, that was wonderful.
You will be mowed down by Second Inquisition. Right. I know I'm generous. I'm too generous. Right.
It's for charity. Generosity is the theme of the evening.
Also, a
right.
big, cheer for the roll for good team, because
Yes, absolutely.
I think we're wrapping
Thank
the
you so
event up
much
at
for
this one. So
yeah, thank you so much for everyone's hard work. This has been a really, really fun, really cool, very, very organized experience. It's been an absolute pleasure. I don't know what to do now. When does the music come in to play me off? I've got pizza and ice cream waiting in the freezer.
the final amount raised, at least by the time that we're done, is 1,113.33 pounds. So
Team Chaos!
Woohoo.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for all of your wonderful donations. It's astounding, really. This has been a real honor. This has been a really exciting opportunity.
Bye.
Thank you very much, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's a pleasure playing with you all. And I'm really glad you guys enjoyed the show. Again, thank you to everybody who donated. Have a good night. Stay safe. Bye.